Here are the horoscopes for the week of the 23rd to the 29th of October 2017. We begin the week with Mars moving into Libra. So since early September, Mars has been in Virgo, teaching us about our energy body, where we put our energy and where we are serving, where we are valued, and seeing the merit for our energy returned to us. But now Mars moves into Libra. So we've had a whole year of Jupiter in Libra, and that's been teaching us about rebalancing relationships, finding a pure relationship with ourselves, and calibrating our higher and lower selves, our deeper self, really getting into connection with that so that our external relationships and relating to others can be balanced and peaceful as well. But with this Mars aspect until the 10th of December, this is another part of the final summing up, really. So although Jupiter's moved on, Mars can now energize those relationships. We should be able to put some energy into ourselves, come from our core, and actually energize and relate with others more easily as well. This can also work for our creativity, so especially dance, movement through air, sound through air, smell through air, anything that's grace through air. So poetry, perfume, style, interior design, dancing, any of that is very well lit once every 2 years as we have Mars moving through Libra. So as we draw into the darker months, then it might be worth taking up some kind of artistic pursuit that's a true expression of heartfelt beauty and peace. But the rest of the week is dedicated to Scorpio. The Sun moves into Scorpio on Monday, and we head into the darkest months of the zodiac year. So Scorpio is deep, dark, inner subconscious waters. We turn our energy inwards to look into our own darkest places individually, but also this will have an effect on the collective as well. So we look into the shadows to see what's lurking. Over the summer we can be very outwards, but as we go through the autumn equinox and into the winter, we turn inwards to see what we've been avoiding, what we've been missing, what's been growing while we haven't noticed. So there's much revelation here on a personal level, but also it's an incredibly political sign. So we're going to see many revelations come out in public as well, which are endemic of the state of the collective subconscious and what needs to come out, what needs to be cleansed. So Scorpio is the sign of the alchemist, where we raise from base to crown. But first of all, we have to look at the base, and the bravery of this sign gives us the strength to do that. By Tuesday we have Mercury harmonising with Neptune. So this is a beautiful aspect. Mercury in Scorpio making a trine aspect to Neptune in Pisces. So both of these are water signs, both of these are evocative, and possibly speaking over lifetimes here, reclaiming the fullness of ourself really. Sometimes we can get shunted into a corner, pushed into an ever-narrowing narrative of who we are according to our current situation, but once we broaden that perspective and we step back and we look at where we're coming from, what we represent, what our core qualities are, then this will be the song of Neptune, I feel, to look at the soul meaning of our lives and to look at what we stand for, the larger continuum. By Wednesday, I would say it's a time to get ready, to have a clear out, to declutter, to get rid of anything that's no longer in our story, something that's played its role or something that's no longer true, because by Thursday we start a new 12-year magical journey. Jupiter meets with the Sun, and this is always one of the most powerful days of the year, but this time they meet in Scorpio. So we're looking back 12 years to see that journey of where we've been. What 12-year journey have we been on? What have we learnt about our own mastery and our own healing powers and our own magical abilities? Because when Jupiter meets with the Sun, that's a double Sun energy, that's sovereignty and life force meeting in the sign of power. So as I said before, there's a sense of bravery with this sign, definitely power and empowerment, but also a feeling of justice surging up as Mars is still in Libra. So as things are coming up to the surface, as things are being revealed, then to centre in our knowledge and in our purity and to feel that fire burning. So as we heal ourselves, we raise the vibration of society as well. But first of all, to come back to our own wholeness, I feel by Friday then we can have another retrospective and have a look at all the parts of ourselves that we've left behind. So if at the beginning of the week we're clearing what is no longer true and what wasn't true and getting that bigger multi-lifetime perspective, and then in the middle of the week if we're looking at the last 12-year cycle, reconnecting, reviewing the journey that we've been on, then by Friday there's a sense of soul retrieval, really, looking back to all the parts of ourselves that we've under-prioritised or left behind. Because the practical side of life is very forceful, front and centre most of the times, so we tend to let go of anything that we don't think is practical, or we forget some of our talents, some of our joys as we apply ourselves to the working world, to the survival side of things. But again, with Mars in Libra, connecting with our joys, our creativity, our gratitude, our kindness, and our inner child, that creative expression is well worth doing on Friday, because that's the centering that we can have to go forwards on this magical journey. Then to end the week, a slightly tricky aspect, Venus square Pluto, but we can harness this to cleanse old patterns, old thoughts, old beliefs, anything that's still hanging around, with a review of all the week, final retrospective, almost like checking the room before you leave to make sure that everything's in its place and that you've packed everything you need. The sense of completion comes in. We're heading for a fresh and flowing start, but we need to be our real selves, we need to be unattached, and we need to have let go of anything that's limiting and holding us back. So it's a really super powerful week, very introspective, but if we follow those day by day examples of how we can harness the energies, then we're starting to walk forwards now in our power and ready for a new adventure. So those are the horoscopes for this week, and I'll see you next week. I'd love to meet you for a reading if you'd like to explore where this is happening for you. I'm available in London or over Skype for a reading. Or if you'd like to take on a course of study over the winter, then I do have lots of online courses which have access to me, and an online membership group where we're discussing things as they come up in a safe and friendly environment. So for any of that, please do contact me, zoehines7@gmail.com.